Today we're going to be talking about the Lume Cube Panel Pro. Okay, so there are so many things to cover in this video. We're just gonna dive right in. You might be wondering, Lume Cube, Panel Pro, Panel Mini, what should I do? It all really depends on what you want out of your light. The joy of the Panel Pro is that it has RGB control, it's got Bluetooth control, it's bigger and brighter than any of their other lights. And so for me, as a both filmmaker and photographer, I really wanted a bi-color LED that will also do RGB for backgrounds and for really stylistic shoots. Normally when people do reviews of products, they have the product in their hand, but you know what? My light worked so well that I'm actually using it as my key light right now. So you will be seeing clips that I shot just the other day with some friends downtown Northfield. This light is one of the most flexible lights on the market. If you're filming a wedding or an event or something where you are constantly in motion, not sitting in a studio setting like this, you really want to have a light that you can just throw on your camera, tote it around, it'll do everything you ever need. And the Lume Cube Panel Pro is that light. So let's go over some of the features. They advertise it as a 1500 lux light at 1/2 meter, and it's got 1000 lumen output. So let's put this in perspective a little bit. Currently, my Panel Pro is maybe 4 feet from my face in this direction as my key light, and it is at 53% brightness. And it's lighting me just fine. Let's talk about the bi-color LED. These are the white LEDs, the ones you're probably going to be using most often. They go from 3000 to 5700 Kelvin. The light has a frosted lens built into it, and so that means it's got a tiny bit of diffusion, but it also comes with a removable diffusion panel, and that's what I'm currently using on my key light right now. It's great for front wash and things like that. If you're trying to get a more stylistic light, you might or might not want to use it, but it comes with. So it's great. On 3 sides of the light, it has your standard 1/4 inch mount, and it also comes with a cold shoe mount that you can screw on and just throw it right on top of your camera or a light stand. When it comes to ease of use, there are a couple different ways to run this light. First of all, you have the buttons and controls on the side. The top button changes your mode. It drops that little caret down line by line so you can control each of the attributes. Right below the button, you have your dial. The dial controls each of these attributes that are selected. And below that, you have your USB-C for charging. So on the back LED screen of the light, at the very top, you have your battery level. It shows you both the time at the current settings that this light will last, down to the minute, which is absolutely great when you're an event videographer. You'll know when your light's gonna die, so you know when you need to stop and charge or switch out to a different light. Just below that, you have your level. Next, you have your color. This is a 0 through 360, and you can see your RGB across the bottom. After that, you have your scenes, and they currently have 4 scenes programmed into this light. You have your police lights, you have fireplace setting, you have lightning, and you also have the color loop mode. And last but not least, you have your strobe, which has an adjustment from 1 to 10 hertz. Now, all these settings are pretty great. They're pretty easy to use, but one of my favorite features of this light, and the thing that I'm going to end up using the most, is the Bluetooth capability. Just download the Lume Cube app and then press and hold the mode button on your light. I think it's 5 or 6 seconds, and it'll push you over into Bluetooth pair mode. And once you're paired with your phone, you have so many capabilities. You can adjust your brightness, your temperature, your color. You have the full functionality of this light, as well as if you have multiple of these devices, you can actually put multiple into the app and control them individually. Okay, now let me tell you a couple of the pros and cons that I've experienced having used this light so far. So one of the cons is it's a little bit on the expensive side. If you're looking at cheap lights to use for videography and you don't need the RGB capabilities, I would suggest going with something else. They have the Panel Mini. You can also look at other brands. I know there's a lot on Amazon that are kind of basic white bi-color LED lights. And so I really do think that if you're not interested in the Bluetooth functions or the RGB functions, you can probably find a cheaper light that will do the same thing. Another con that I have is that it does struggle to fade evenly when it's in the lower range of the light, between that 5 to 20%, but that is pretty standard for LED lights, and you will find that in almost anything that's under $1,000. The last con that I have is that the Lume Cube app is still in beta mode, and so it does have some functionality issues, but overall, having Bluetooth control over my light is way better than not having it, and honestly, it's not that big of a con for me. Now let's talk about pros. Pros are way better. This light is extremely flexible. I can toss it on my camera, I can throw it on a light stand, I can use it for videos or photos in any situation that I need. In my field of wedding photography, I would use this most for your sparkler exits because you don't really want to use a flash maybe. I can use my Lume Cube Panel Pro to light up the scene without ruining the feel of the moment. Having done a little bit of looking around, it is hard to find a bi-color LED that also has RGB capabilities. And the last pro is the fact that you can add multiple devices to your Bluetooth connectivity is an absolute game changer for me. If I'm doing an interview or if I'm shooting a music video and I want to be able to do light changes in the moment, I can do that straight from my phone, and that is a huge win for me. Ultimately, my verdict is that it is worth the price. It's worth the couple flaws that it has because this light is a powerhouse. I am super excited that you are going to be seeing this light a lot in my photos and my videos on this YouTube channel as my new key light. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit like and subscribe and turn on the little bell icon so you can get notified when I release new videos. And we will see you next time. Okay, we're calling it. That's the video.